everyone, my name's Ali and welcome back to my channel, Mindful Living. When it comes to being successful in the kitchen and sticking to healthy eating choices throughout the week, for me it all comes down to one thing, meal prepping. I love doing this every Sunday, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top tips to be successful when meal prepping, along with how to properly store your food for freshness. My approach to meal prepping is a little different because I recommend you prep the ingredients separately and not full meals together. I'll explain more throughout this video, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so my first tip for you guys is going to be to make sure when meal prepping that you properly store your food. Whatever you meal prep, you're going to be eating over the span of a few days, so you want to make sure it stays pretty fresh. I like to use a variety of different size containers, and I highly recommend that you store all of your food in glass containers. I find they keep the food a lot fresher. Glass obviously doesn't absorb smells like plastic does. And another big one here is glass jars contain no chemicals that can leach into your food, and they're just overall a safer and healthier choice. I love using mason jars. I use them all the time. I even keep some jars from the grocery store. You can simply wash them out and put them in the dishwasher to reuse. And of course, I love using stasher bags. These are another alternative to plastic, and they are made out of silicone. I like to use these instead of plastic baggies. And another thing I have here, which I really love, is my herb saver. So this is a great way to keep your herbs lasting a lot longer in the fridge. You fill it with a little bit of water at the bottom, and I've had my herbs last for weeks in this. If you don't have an herb saver, I recommend storing your herbs in water. I'm just using a mason jar to do that, so it's really simple and easy. Then just use a produce bag to cover the top of the herbs, and this will last a lot longer in your fridge as well. When you're storing things like kale, asparagus, green onions, chives, I also like to keep these in a little mason jar with water. This just helps the greens stay nice and fresh and crisp. My next food storage tip is using a berry saver. I recently got these and I'm absolutely obsessed. I don't know about you guys, but I always find that my berries go bad really fast and you have to eat them right away or else they're gonna go mushy and moldy. I love using these berry savers. You can use them for grapes, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries. And the red basket is actually removable, making it really simple and easy to wash your produce and then put it away in the fridge. Okay, so now that you guys know some tips on how to properly store your food and produce, let's move on to meal prep tip number 2, which is prepping your veggies. Every week, I like to do what I call a veggie soak. So I just throw all of my produce into the sink and let it soak for about 20 minutes in lemon water. Once everything is done soaking, I like to chop all my produce together at once for the week. And I go ahead and put that into these food savers to keep it nice and fresh. Vegetables can easily be something that people struggle to get into their diet more, so I find when it's all chopped and prepped and ready to go for you in the fridge, you're a lot more likely to grab veggies and dip to snack on. It also makes dinners really seamless and easy because all of your produce is chopped and ready to go. You can throw that into a stir fry, throw it onto a sheet pan and roast your veggies, whatever you want to do with it. Some people like to meal prep their veggies and roast them in advance, but I like to chop mine up and keep them raw in the fridge. This is just so I can use them in a variety of different dishes. It's a little more versatile, and I do like to roast or steam my vegetables fresh. It doesn't take very long. This week I am prepping broccoli, red peppers, red onion, and carrots, and I'll be using that in a variety of different dishes throughout the week. So I'm just chopping up some carrots here, and another tip I'm going to mention is that I'm going to be storing these in a mason jar, and I'm going to be filling that up with water. You can do this for cucumber, carrots, celery, anything like that that you want to maintain its moisture once it's chopped up. If you leave carrots or celery and cucumber in the fridge for a few days, they will start to dry out, so you can add a little bit of water to the container, and that's just going to help it maintain its freshness throughout the week. I also like to chop up an entire lemon because I do like to use lemon in a lot of my cooking, but I also like to enjoy it in my water, and if it's all chopped up and ready to go, it makes it really easy for me. And lastly, for my veggie prep, I've gone ahead and washed a bunch of lettuce, and I'm just putting this into a food saver as well. You can even put a piece of paper towel or a cloth on the top here, and that will help absorb the excess moisture, because lettuce tends to go bad when it gets wet. That causes it to go limp and then it starts to rot. So make sure when you are putting your lettuce into a container that you have thoroughly dried it first, or else it will not last very long. Moving on to our next meal prep tip, which is prep your protein in advance. Everyone knows that protein takes the longest to cook, so when you have this prepped and ready to go, you're bound to be successful for the week ahead. Today I will be making my slow cooker chicken. I just use a variety of different spices, throw that all into my slow cooker, and let it cook on low for up to 6 hours. It's really easy, you can just set it and forget it. I make sure to season it really simply so you can use it in a variety of different dishes. I change up my protein from week to week, so sometimes I will do different things in the slow cooker. Once it's done, it should look something like this. It'll be pull apart, tender, delicious, and bursting with tons of flavor. I love cooking my chicken in the slow cooker because I find it doesn't dry out the chicken. The chicken turns out really tender and moist. And I like to shred some of this, and I keep some in bigger pieces for different meals. I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly shred up my chicken here. I try not to shred the chicken too finely because I do want to keep some chunky pieces in there as well. I do actually separate this out into 2 different containers. One will be shredded and the other will be a little bit larger pieces, and that's just because I'm going to be making different meals throughout the week with this. I like to use the shredded chicken in a sandwich, in a wrap. You can also throw it on top of a salad, and then the larger pieces of chicken, I like to serve that on a side of quinoa or rice, or even put that into a stir fry, things like that. Another protein I like to meal prep is hard-boiled eggs. They are so versatile as well, and you can enjoy them in a variety of different dishes, so I like to boil a bunch of those at the beginning of each week. I also enjoy eating different plant-based food options, so I regularly will prep things like beans and lentils, so I have those on hand to easily throw into different meals throughout the week. My next meal prep tip is going to be to prepare some grains for yourself for the week. I like to do things like quinoa, rice, pasta, whatever you prefer. It helps your meals to come together really simply and easily, saves you a lot of time. This week I am prepping some quinoa and some veggie pasta. I like using quinoa because it's pretty versatile as well. You can add that into a variety of different dishes. You can have it on a side of a stir fry, side of chicken. You can make yourself a quinoa salad or sprinkle some on top of your leafy green salad as well. I'm just transferring my cooked quinoa into little mason jars here. By prepping a few staple grains like this in your fridge, it makes lots of different food options throughout the week. And the second grain that I've prepped for myself for the week is some veggie pasta. Again, this is super simple and versatile. You can throw your chicken that you meal prepped in there. You can throw some veggies and have a nice pasta dish, or you can even make this into a pasta salad for lunches. Okay, so my next meal prep tip is to prepare some sauces and dips for yourself for the week ahead. And I'm gonna start by making my homemade vinaigrette here. This recipe really couldn't be any easier. It is a lemon Dijon vinaigrette dressing and marinade that you can use in a variety of dishes. And I've just thrown together some olive oil, lemon, Dijon mustard, honey, and spices. Give that all a good shake and you have a really easy marinade and dressing that you can use throughout the week. Another homemade sauce that is very versatile, goes with a lot of different meals, is making your own homemade pesto. I actually did a full video of this on my channel in the summertime, showing you guys how I make my own healthier version of pesto, so make sure to go back on my channel and check that out as well if you would like the full recipe breakdown and ingredients. Okay, last but not least, my final meal prep tip in this video is going to be to prep yourself some snacks. When you're eating healthy, it's easy to fall off track when you are snacking on things that are not so good for you. So I like to go ahead and make these pre-packaged snack bags. I'm using my stasher bags today to do that. And I'm going to be making my very own trail mix today, and I'll be using a variety of different nuts, some dark chocolate, and some coconut flakes. The trick is to keep it simple here and just use whatever you have on hand. So each week for me, it's gonna change. I'll be throwing different things into my snack bags depending on what I've bought for the week. I always like to have nuts as a good healthy snack. Again, make sure you're watching your portion control here as they are high in fat, but definitely good fat, of course. If you guys would like to see a whole video dedicated to what I meal prep with these ingredients, make sure to leave me a comment down below. I'll definitely consider doing another video actually showing you guys the recipes and basically how I mix and match everything in the kitchen to keep it really simple and easy. Okay guys, so that is all my tips and tricks on how to be successful when meal prepping. Just make sure to keep it simple, have fun in the kitchen, make sure you're using fresh ingredients, try and shop in season if you can, and make recipes that overlap ingredients so you're able to easily mix and match in the kitchen. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in my next one.